So when I say we've got agreements and contracts, it's not like in a miracle firework that all of a sudden there's a press release, boom. You know how much work is involved to deploy an actual technology application down a street corner? It takes time, effort, permits and labor, no matter how cool the tech is. And I just had to share that because a lot of people just think that things happen overnight and expect a public company to put out firework PR, but that's not to say. Hang tight. Ayveda's got a lot of exciting opportunities that we're executing on right now, Eric, and we're operating at a very sophisticated level. I'm happy to tout that.
Hello, greetings and salutations. Welcome back to the BFC. That was David Lee, CEO of Ayveda. If you have not had a chance to watch that interview, it was awesome sitting down with David Lee. Guys, seriously, go on my channel, check out that. I just posted, we got a chance to sit down Saturday. We released the video on Tuesday and expect to hear more from David on the BFC. He was a pleasure to have. But yes, welcome to our Wednesday Live. We have a bunch to talk about, as well as a couple guests who will be joining us momentarily, and we will get there in a second. But before we go any further, hit the subscribe button and join the BFC for first-hand due diligence. I'd be a liar if I said that undertaking and sustaining this channel on top of everything else hasn't been a challenge, especially when it comes to like the ever-changing flow of information, and not to mention like the networking that I've been doing and trying to retain some of these private investments, and just finding out the companies that are legit and trying to invest in these guys now and build my portfolio for the next couple years, and having some fun with those lotto picks as well. So, but hey, that's what makes this all fun, is the grind and like all the work that we're putting into the investments that we're making. So let's jump right into the chat section and let's see who we have with us today. We have 33 people joining us right now. All right, man, we have a good group here today. All right, we got Pat. What's up? Older, wiser games. What's going on? We got Sam. Who is the interview with tonight and at what time? Well, it's with Jordan Starkman, CEO of Rimrock, and he's going to be with me in just a couple minutes. All right, I'm just giving you guys a couple props here. Thank you for all of you. Oh, hey, Lisa Matthews, one of my originals. Great to have you here. Michael Singleton. Howdy, y'all. Howdy to you. Dino, Unboxing Bastard. All you guys, man. Mr. Paw. And the Big BS. Good evening, everyone. Good evening to you. So that's right. Learning how to fly through that. And hey, Doug, what's up? How you doing? So listen, let's welcome our first guest. All right, let's bring him in. The CEO of Rimrock Gold Corporation, Jordan Starkman. Bring him in.
Eric, thanks so much for having me.
Jordan, welcome to the BFC. How you doing?
Thank you. Everything's great.
So now you're from the Toronto area, correct?
Yes, right in the downtown Toronto core.
So we're literally like an hour away.
Exactly, not too far.
And listen, the truth is, I'm glad we're meeting here on the BFC and not at a Sabres Leafs game, because you and I both know how that goes.
No, listen. I've been a Leaf fan forever, and you know what? They just continuously build you up and then just knock you right back down. So I don't fall for it anymore. I don't get overly excited about the Toronto Maple Leafs anymore. It is what it is.
We're having a drought in Buffalo, quite the drought. Now to all the folks out there, those games, those Leafs Sabres games, they get rowdy, let me tell you. And once those fans, once they have a couple pops, things get going. They get a little wild. And if you want to actually look at some cool hockey brawls, there's like a ton of information. Or a ton of information. There's a ton of videos on YouTube, Sabres and Leafs fights, and it's really fun to watch, especially when you're at the game and you see people getting like batshit crazy. It's really, really fun to watch. But I do love the rivalry there, and so as a Bills fan, Sabres fan, I know what it's like to get let down. Trust me.
Yeah. No, I hear you. It's funny though. My father and I used to love it when any of the Buffalo sports teams would lose, because we obviously do get the Buffalo channels in Toronto. And we would just love listening to the broadcasters, the sports guys, just cry the blues, especially back in the day when the Buffalo Bills, what was it, 4 Super Bowls in a row they lost?
Yeah, you had to throw that in there, huh? Oh, it's well, it's crazy because there was a speculation that the Bills were actually going to move to Toronto, and
I know. I would love to see that happen.
not me.
I would
I
love to
live
see it.
I
I
live
would
right around
love
the
to
corner
see
from the
it.
stadium, and I'll tell you, it's pretty cool because we have a ton of Toronto Bills fans, like
Yes.
big
Yes.
time Bills fans, and they come down the highway in their buses. It's like a train every Sunday at like 8 a.m. And some of them actually come and at Saturday, and they park it and they party all weekend, sometimes Friday.
It is fun. I've been to only one Buffalo Bills game, had to wear a parka, a blanket. It was just freezing cold. After that, I thought no more.
Yeah, and they're actually building a new stadium, so I'm excited to see like what transpires there. And what's
Right.
cool is being so close, I get to watch the thing go up piece by piece because you see like they're
Yeah.
just starting to
Yeah.
dig everything out
Right.
now, and it's pretty wild stuff
Exactly. And
to
that's
see the
amazing.
process.
That's great.
So I know a lot of people in the chat are here to talk about RMRK, and so tell us a little bit about your experience this far working as a CEO in the OTC in general, and more specifically RMRK.
Yeah. No. Listen, again, thanks so much for having me on the show. I've been in the public market space, Eric, for almost 20 years now, primarily OTC markets. And I think that the OTC platform is great for companies that are looking to secure financing while at the same time, really, in essence, providing that necessary liquidity for investors. And I think that these benefits are a great asset for OTC companies looking to expand operations and execute on their business plan. Specifically, though, for Rimrock, the company has gone through a few transitional stages over the last number of years. But our goal has, in essence, always been the exact same, which is to create something special that has some serious growth potential, strong revenue, and one that's profitable. And if we can achieve this, which I believe that we can, I think that we're going to create some significant value for shareholders. In terms of my experience as well on OTC, I've really come to realize, and this is one of the reasons why we are so excited about the Blue Nutric deal, is that on the OTC markets, you see stocks go up, stocks come back down. I don't want to be part of that anymore, and I feel that if the only true way to create sustainable value in the OTC space is by having revenue and being profitable. Those are the only two things that can sustain a stock price, in my opinion. So that's what we're focusing on right now.
Right on. And that sounds good. The biggest piece of news as of recent, like you just mentioned, has been the Blue Nutric acquisition. Now, this started about a year ago. And so for many that don't know, there's a lot of back and forth with acquisition negotiations, and it can be a tedious process, especially when the vision is substantial in terms of the overall goals they're trying to achieve.
Yeah.
So like the bigger the deal, the bigger the acquisition, the longer it's going to take. And,
Absolutely.
yeah. So could you fill us in a little more on how the process with Blue Nutric is going and what shareholders have to look forward to in the next couple weeks?
Yeah. So, let me just start off by saying that we truly are extremely proud of where we're at right now with this deal. I do believe that the Blue Nutric deal is just in the most fantastic space with tremendous opportunity, tremendous potential for strong revenues, and our forecasts actually do show profitability after year one. Yes, I first learned about this deal. It could have been actually over 2 years ago now, but during that time frame, there's been a lot of background planning, really putting all of the pieces of the business plan together. The Blue Nutric team is diverse in talent, skill, very, very strong. And I am actually looking forward and very eager to share more information on that team as soon as we are ready. We're not there yet, but we're definitely getting there.
So could I just ask, is the team growing?
Yes, it is.
Cool.
Yes, it is. And above and beyond the Blue Nutric team, though, we do want to, obviously some of those parties are going to be joining the Rimrock team as well and the Rimrock board, but we are also in the meantime looking to add members to the Rimrock board sooner than later. So we're putting that all together right now. In saying all of that, at this stage, both parties, myself, the Blue Nutric guys, we are fully committed to completing this transaction. It is a very, very friendly deal, which is very important. Unfortunately, right now, with many of the parties being based in Europe, and it being, right now, August, these Europeans really do love their extended holidays. And they don't take off a few days or a little weekend here and there. It's 2-3 weeks, and they know how to have a great time, which is great. But unfortunately, the parties are based in Europe, and that's one of the things that we are dealing with right now. But as everyone gets back into town, we are looking forward to closing this transaction. We've actually begun expediting things on our end, as we had discussed in one of the press releases, and we can get into that shortly.
Yeah, right on. I'm actually working on a couple of other private investments and deals, and yes, the holiday is impacting the progress of those. So that's just how it is,
The nature
over
of
in
the
Europe.
beast.
Yeah, that is the nature of the beast.
And
exactly.
again, from my standpoint, this has been so long in the making that an extra week, 2 weeks, to me, it's not the end of the world. And I would like to think that, hopefully shareholders can appreciate that as well.
Yeah. And when you're building a business that you want to last many, many years, I've said this before, what's a week? What's an extra day? What's an extra couple weeks?
It's not the end of the
Honestly,
world.
for the day trader, that's an eternity,
Yeah.
and what's our least favorite word, that we hear? I always say, well, my favorite word is the word soon. That can mean anything in the OTC
or shortly. I tend to use that quite a bit too.
We all do. That's
Yeah.
my new thing. I just say soon all the time, but why not?
Yeah.
So, but
That's
how aggressive after this acquisition, after Blue Nutric is done, will you and your team be at applying for the name and the ticker symbol change?
Yeah. Good question. There are a few things that need to take place to obtain that new name and the new ticker symbol. There's a fair amount of paperwork involved as well that needs to be reviewed by our lawyers. We've already started the preliminary work and conversations to make all of that happen. As simple as the amendment to the Articles of Incorporation, that's been drafted already, just waiting to file it. We've opened up discussions with our lawyer regarding filing the name change and the symbol request change with FINRA. So we're almost there. As soon as we are ready, like on our end, we've expedited everything. So as soon as we're all set, everything's gonna be filed immediately.
Right on. Brian Abbott, shareholders have become patient with this stock because we have been provided updates from Jordan. It is extremely appreciated. Asil, we truly appreciate.
And you know what, I like hearing that, and I'll tell you from my own standpoint, when I used to be an investor, and I would call up the CEO of OTC companies, if I could not get in touch with them, or if I never got a call back, any sort of response whatsoever, to me that was a red flag. So and I'm sure a lot of the shareholders already know this, when they do reach out to me, whether it be a message on Twitter, an email, a text. I mean, everyone has my cell number, so they can call me, they can text me. I make myself available all day, all night, and I think that's very, very important, just to keep those open lines of communication with the shareholders.
Right on. So I got to ask about the Blue Nutric website. Are you guys going to be launching a new website and an overhaul of that aspect of Rimrock? Well, after the name change, is there going to be an overhaul?
The Rimrock site, we haven't really updated that in a while. But absolutely, the site's being worked on as we speak. It's a very, very exciting project. coming along nicely. The one thing I can tell you about this site is that there's going to be a lot more content than we had originally planned, specifically on the benefits of microalgae, and more importantly, the specific sectors that we will be entering. So a lot of that, more than likely, that will be released before one would actually see it on the website. But there will be many other sectors that we're going to be getting into as well, which is going to be great for the company.
Yeah, as you can see, and actually one of my next questions is in regards to Pierre Schenk. And Jordan says, what can you tell us about Professor Pierre Schenk and the commercialization of his research? And I had the pleasure of sitting down with Professor Schenk, and I look forward to a time when we can sit down and do a roundtable with you, Mr. Professor Schenk, and myself, as well as some shareholders, and really dive into the ins and outs of the finalized acquisition. But tell me a little bit more about your impression of Pierre and what you look forward to the most. And if you could allude a little bit to, the commercialization of the research, if you're able to touch on that. If you can't,
I would rather Pierre touch on that himself.
Okay.
I mean, listen, all I can tell you, and I'm sure people, investors have done their own little bit of due diligence on Pierre. He really is truly a remarkable scientist, very, very knowledgeable in the sector. And he's been involved in the microalgae space for years. But one of the key benefits is that Pierre has developed his own unique microalgae strains, which will enhance yield production. And I think that will really truly be a significant advantage for us over others in the space. Now, the strains will be utilized to produce sustainable biodiesel, protein-rich aquaculture feed, omega-3 fatty acids, plus many other high-value products that we will get into and we will announce in due course. But Pierre is definitely, without a doubt, a huge asset. We're thrilled to have such a talent like Pierre on the Blue Nutric team, and going forward on the Rimrock team as well. And in terms of myself, I am looking forward to working beside Pierre, absorbing as much knowledge as I can from him. And again, the most important thing really is seeing Pierre execute the business plan successfully. That's what I'm really, truly looking forward to.
Yeah, right on. And it's funny because, like, I told him, I'm like, all right, we're going to do this interview. We're going to be talking about microalgae. Oh my gosh. You see, I go, you need to explain this stuff like I'm in junior high, because it's going to go right over my head. And he did a very, very good job. And he told me this, he was awesome. He goes, the first interview, let's just talk basics. Because he goes, you know what? And I gave him a list of questions. He goes, I give hour-long lectures just on like one of those questions you gave me. I'm like, all right, so let's think more simple. And we really cut the science.
Yeah.
And it is intimidating when you learn about a completely new science or something, a new topic. So I did learn a lot during that interview. And if you guys haven't had the chance, seriously, go to my channel. It's there. Check out the whole interview. It's great. It's great listening to him speak, and he's very passionate about what he does. Like, you can tell, like, he wants to make a difference in the world. And so, and anybody that watches this channel knows I'm trying to get people on that I like their business, I like their products, I like their vision on to create a product. Look, when I talk about IFIS, when I talk about ILIS, when I talk about GRPS, making that shrimp industry really cool. I mean, like, there's just tons of companies out there that have a great vision. So these are the kinds of people I want to support. And RMRK here with Blue Nutric, I think, is going to be absolutely awesome. So that's cool, man.
Yeah.
Let's talk a little bit about share structure. Now, you guys are looking pretty solid, but your authorized shares are tightening up a little bit. And you have committed to no reverse split. Is there going to be an opportunity for a share buyback to help drive retail and long-term shareholder values? What's overall, give me your sentiment with the share structure. I know you're not adding shares necessarily you're not adding authorized shares for this acquisition, if I'm correct.
So yes, we are maxed out on the common stock side of things right now. As disclosed, in terms of the structure of the deal, we will be issuing the preferred B convertible shares. So those preferred shares can be converted into common shares. Now, it's very, very important to understand here that the management team, they are in this for the long term. They are long-term believers. They are not looking to exit anytime soon. Furthermore, once the preferred B shares have been converted into common, because this has come up in conversation in the past, it's important to understand that once the shares are converted to common, they cannot be sold into the market immediately anyway. There is a 1-year hold before that restriction can be lifted. Okay, so that's very, very important. In addition, again, I don't even know if OTC shareholders or traders even know this, but right now, or actually it's been this way for a number of years now, it is a very, very tough task for a shareholder, for an investor to deposit shares into a brokerage firm if the stock is trading below a penny. It's almost impossible unless you have a multi-million-dollar trading account at a brokerage firm. So even if shares are issued, and shares have been issued in the past, just to reduce the liability section of the balance sheet. But again, those shares cannot be deposited at this point in time. So that's important.
Now,
So
I could read between the lines there. I hope my viewers can as well too. So that's a great answer. Are you guys?
And just to touch on the other part of your question in terms of buyback, I mean, that unfortunately we cannot really discuss at this point in time. Whenever, if something like that does happen, obviously it would be announced in the market, in the marketplace. We will announce that and disclose all of that information if that time does arise.
Right on. Yeah. Just to follow up, so there's a chance that it could be on the table potentially.
Can't really discuss.
Yeah. All right.
I would, trust me, I would love to. Yeah. I would really, truly love to discuss.
My job is to poke, Mr. Starkman. All right. So you guys are currently securing additional funding for the growth of not only Blue Nutric, but the company as a whole. So according to the terms, So tell me about the terms.
Well, great question in terms of the financing. That's one of the topics that has been brought up quite a bit. The short answer is yes. Blue Nutric is going to be raising a much larger amount than just $1 million. I mean, listen, $1 million in this day and age really doesn't get you very far. So they are looking at raising a much larger amount than just that $1 million. In terms of the structure, in terms of the amount, I would love to get into that, but until we actually announce that, it is a little challenging for myself to get into a lot of those details. Wish I could, but I truly cannot.
That's all right. That's all right. As we await solidification of Blue Nutric, which is hopefully around the corner, I know we're excited. I know many of us are very excited about this. What is your message to shareholders who've been waiting patiently? And I have about 4 million shares right now. I know that I'm in a Discord group, and we sort of share what we're buying, and I could tell there's a lot of enthusiasm with RMRK. So what's sort of your message?
I think the most important thing right now is that I want it to be known that I really truly do appreciate all of the Rimrock loyal and long-term shareholders. We have been working tirelessly to make this deal a huge success. And for me, as a CEO, I want nothing more than to see every single shareholder prosper handsomely from this company. That's always been my mandate. That's always been my goal. And it has been a long time coming. I think that we're almost there. But I will always continue to communicate properly and effectively with all shareholders. I truly do believe in strong communication. Maybe at times in the past it slipped a little bit, but I'm always there. If anyone needs to reach out, if any shareholder wants to call, I'm always available. And I think that again is very, very important for the CEO of a publicly traded company. And again, I've got an open door policy.
Right on. Brian says, fantastic to hear about the large amount coming in for Blue Nutric. In one of these instances, it won't be a case of more money, more problems. And then, and Steve did have, will you be diluting your stock with more funding? And he did discuss that they're not raising.
Yeah, no, so it's not going to be dilutive in any way, shape, or form right now, because it is going to be the preferred shares, the preferred convertible shares that will be issued. That's not to say that down the road, those preferreds will more than likely be converted into common, but again, not in the foreseeable future right now.
Right on. Jordan Starkman, thanks for hopping on. I look forward to you coming back on with Pierre, and I think it's going to be great.
Absolutely. And again, I would like to get together with you as well, since we are only an hour max, maybe an hour and a half away from each other.
I'll tell you what, I'll eat the meat. I know you're doing the vegan thing, so you know what? That's all right. That's right. Okay. I did the all meat-based diet, and I felt good. But it's like, it was an excuse to buy copious amounts of meat.
I'll eat the salad. We're all good.
All right, Jordan, thank you very much. Have a great night.
Thank you so much, Bill. Appreciate it.
All right, guys. So, yes, as you heard, we are going to be touching base again in the next couple of weeks, which is going to be great. So, and I can't wait to sit down with him and Pierre Schenk to actually talk about, everything. Because once this acquisition goes through, they're going to be open to obviously tell more. Let me know your thoughts below. That was a great first interview. Let me not hold these guys back any longer. We have two more guests. We have Sam Aker and we have Jordhuga. Let's bring him in. Gentlemen, welcome back yet again. How you doing?
What's going on?
Very good. Thanks for having me. How are you doing?
Doing good. Now, guys, listen at home. Do you hear Sam's voice? He got sexier. He got a new mic.
Yeah, I don't know if you guys noticed in my videos, I actually bought a microphone. So maybe I'll take this a little seriously, since you guys have to listen to me. So
yeah,
going up in the world.
I'm not gonna lie. That last microphone, I don't know if I listened to your filings to try and put me to sleep. It was like going through a distortion pedal. Yeah,
it wasn't great. The other day I actually did listen to the old clips to compare, and I was like, oof, probably should have done this after video like 3, but we got it now. So
yeah, man, dude, that's great. Oh man, so yeah, it's pretty much an open forum tonight. I have a couple things I want to share, but I want to give you guys the floor too. And yes, we do have some. Let's see, we have some. I missed the beginning. Did he mention when the PR would come? Soon, shortly. So it's the typical OTC answer. I know that none of us like, but what can you do? It is what it is. But I think it's going to be soon. I hope that you rock is for me. I don't know, like if it's for Jordan, kudos to him. But Steve Capone, that was a great question, and I'm glad we were able to address it as well. And Lisa Matthews, thank you. Unboxing Bester, that's my bro. Jimbo, how you doing? And yep, we're very, very excited. I'm glad you're here. Glad you guys are all here. Oh man! All right, so what's been on your plate, guys? What have you guys been up to?
Ooh, I don't know. Dude, can I say, loved the IVDA interview. I think that was great. Really interesting company. I've been looking at them a lot more closely. The interview was interesting. He didn't really give he talked about the company a bit, but it was just sort of about specific topics or general business and everything. So it was very interesting. But now I need to get a deep dive on a 10K with them still. So in the works, but very good interview.
Yeah, I look forward to seeing that when you do it. Dude, I had a good time with him. Seriously, it just it's weird because sometimes you do interviews and I don't know, I've had a good time with for the most time. I like doing this, but there was a special energy with him. I was totally connecting with him, and I'm not even joking. Towards the end of the interview, when I was just quoting him, I got the little goosebumpies. You know what I mean? Because I don't know. It's very rarely when you find, there he is, David Lee. It's very rare when you find somebody that has the same energy that you do. And I tend to be an overly energetic person, completely I don't know. I'm Mr. Positive. I don't know. Sometimes stupidly positive. You know, I got to get checked sometimes. But sitting down with him was really, I don't know, it was a breath of fresh air. And you could just tell he's passionate for having done this company for like since 2003 it was.
Yeah,
But
something like that.
when are you planning on doing that? That 10K?
Pretty soon. Hold on, is my audio, is that better? Oh, there we go.
Yeah, ooh.
Ooh, I was doing the dial the wrong way. Sorry, guys. Is that better? Give me a thumbs up. Yeah, I'll try and. You're asking me IVDA when I would be doing the next video or a video on it.
Yeah.
I don't know. Probably in the next few weeks. I'd hope so.
Cool.
That's the goal. So is that a little rock I see here in the background with you, or was that something else that I heard?
A little. No, it wasn't.
I thought I heard a kid or something.
No, they're out. They actually went out to the beach to watch the sunset. And so, did you just give me the indicator that they're home? But I did just get a dog. Actually, real quick, I got to show you guys this because you're the BFC fam. I got to bring up the dog. Producer Rob, could you bring up the puppy? bring up the puppy. There's Millie. That's the new pup. That's the new addition to our family. And so, yeah, it was a long time coming. So, we had Daisy. I remember talking about Daisy, you guys, before. Unfortunately, we had to put her to sleep about 7 months ago. Yep. But yes, yeah. Now I'm looking. It's funny. She's been a great dog. So welcome to the family, Millie. But I gotta say, what sucks though is now I'm walking through the backyard and I'm stepping in landmines, and the dog is only 20. It's 20 pounds. It's only 3 months old. So holy shit.
Oh man, you're gonna be knee deep.
Exactly. And so, Jord, how you doing, brother?
Good. And Sam, they're not little rocks; they're pebbles. But no, I'm good, man. There's been a lot of exciting stuff happening. AITX is having an exciting month. QIND obviously has got so much going on. We're just waiting for something concrete to be dropped. There's just a lot of exciting stuff going on. I'm just trying to raise capital and buy as many shares as I possibly can.
Yeah. So wait, are we behind on QIND S1? Is that supposed to be coming out soon, or am I making that up?
No, it's supposed to be coming out very soon.
Oh, okay, got it.
Not soon, Sam. Very soon.
Very soon. Because I've been waiting to get a video out on them until it comes out, or I'm waiting for it to come out. And I was like, I thought it would have come out by now, or else I don't know. So, so it's not just me.
Well, now, so Jord, now you're back in New York now. So we're actually getting together next Sunday, or this Sunday coming up. Actually, we're gonna have a little chicken wing fiesta with the old Arlex and a couple of our other good friends over there, which is gonna be pretty cool.
We are. I very much look forward to that. It's going to be a good time. Usually, I don't really like to go hang out with people I like and eat chicken wings and drink beer, but I'm I'm gonna make an exception in this one case. So,
gee golly, I appreciate it.
Oh yeah.
So, hey, what's up, Scott Smith? So let's talk a little bit. I want to talk a little bit about IFAS, and I know that Sam, this one's been on your radar a little bit more, if I'm correct. I wanted to share a couple things. This is I think this is a sleeping giant. I truly do. I have, I think, 200 something thousand shares of it. I plan on adding more, but I think what they're doing is going to be revolutionary to the cattle industry. Let's go through, and I just want to take a listen to they just did a podcast, and I put the link in the description. You guys need to check out this podcast. It's only 20 minutes long, but it's with the CEO, Mark. And I'm telling you, like, this guy is going to capitalize on the feed shortage. And not only that, this is a better option. I think that when things come to fruition, I think this is a sleeping giant. It's right in the chat section. Thanks, Rob. Producer Rob, he did it. He put it down there in the chat section. So click on it and save it. That way you guys could have a listen. I'm telling you, it's one of my picks for it's a long-term hold for me, but it's already a buy in my opinion. And it's been up 100% since I called it, not that I called it, but like my buying, like I felt comfortable buying where I bought it. I didn't get it as low as I wanted, but it's still up 100%. And I think this thing has massive room to grow. So before let's take a listen to this. If you guys want to play that up.
And I think he sent it to me. It's kind of like, wow, this is great. And now the thing that is surprising everybody is the high cost of feeding their cattle. So
Sure.
the question is how they receive it. I've got one guy that's got 100 head of Brangus, which is a type of Black Angus, but with a mixture. And he was telling me that you know what, I'm at like 350 a head. I don't know if I can stay in the business. I think I'm gonna let my cows go. And you know what that means? He's gonna call the herd. And I said, well, why don't you do this? Why don't you take the and use our product, because he uses a lot of hay. He goes all the way to Arkansas for hay. And why don't you take and use our product along with a protein source and get rid of the hay and see if we can make some money. And so he did, and he told me the other day that he went from $3.50 a head per day down to 45 cents.
Wow.
Now, these ranchers are businessmen. They understand that. And the high cost of grain, I mean, 40% of the grain comes out of Ukraine. Well, they're not growing much there. And so the bottom line is that we help a rancher with something that is a renewable. I mean, sugarcane is something that nobody uses it for anything. It piles up. And it's loaded with lignin, which is a protein source if you can unlock it. And so now we step in and we can start reducing the line items that are in what a rancher is feeding. For instance, line items like minerals. Hey, we got that. We got all 70 ionic minerals and trace minerals. Mastic, they don't use mastic, but it kills bacteria. We have proof of that. And when you start going down the line, like hay is huge, and it's a huge cost, and it's getting bigger. The bottom line is that if you can get hay, you're going to pay a high price. So right now you'll see that there are a lot of cattle that are being culled. You all know what that means. And what ends up happening is that the price of beef at the store will be not acceptable, but down. But when you go to sell your cattle right now, it's not exactly a good price. I had one rancher told me that he took his young cows to be sold. They're at about 700 pounds, and he brought them back. The price was so low. So my opinion is that by September, when all the grass is gone and the hay is hard to get or gone, because you got to remember, a guy that's cutting 10 cuts of hay, and the last one's usually not too good, he's lucky to get 2. And the guy that I'm talking about tells me, he says, I can't believe how many people aren't cutting hay. So the bottom of it is that as these cattle have a tougher time, as the ranchers are having a tougher time getting feed for the cattle, that it's like the old lead ball. When I was a young kid, I had a guy named John who used to tell me, he said, selling a new product is like pushing a lead ball. It takes a lot of energy to push that lead ball. But if you have a good product, eventually that ball is going to roll. You better get out of the way.
So yeah, I mean, this is absolutely awesome. And you know what, John Don did mention, is the meat quality affected by this product? But I'll tell you right now, there's a PowerPoint, John, that you need to check out and look at my last IFIS video. It's right in the description. We lost Jord. Oh, wait, Jord is back. All right, so guys, let me. What do you think about IFIS? Give me your thoughts in general.
No, it's cool. I mean, this is again one of those ones where, let me just say, I think it's funny. I started following them on Twitter. I think it's funny that he's selling on Twitter, like he puts like his phone number in there and stuff. Like the guy's hustling for real. So that's good. No, it's interesting. I mean, he knows what he's talking about. It's very interesting to hear about. I just know like nothing about agriculture. You'd think I would, because I live like there's farms. I'm surrounded by farms, but I don't really know much about it. So I haven't followed it too closely, but hearing him talk is very interesting, and hearing about the problems with feed and everything. And I mean, if he can solve the issue, then that's pretty cool, because we just saw the grain deal didn't get renewed in Ukraine and things like that. So it seems like it's a pretty popular issue. So could be interesting.
Jord, thoughts? George's having connectivity issues, but I will talk about the security details right here. So 15 million market cap, authorized share count of 625 million, outstanding share count 529, with a restricted of 286 million, so more restricted. And so I don't know, there's not rumors, but like a lot of grumblings that most of the float's locked, but we'll see. I mean, we're gonna see how it moves. It does move very, very quick. But we're gonna see how that one sort of plays out. So we also have one of their letters. Jordan, are you with us? Nope, he is.
Whoop,
He's there.
whoop.
Hey, Jordan. I think I hear him. All right, I'm just gonna let's pull up the recent letter that they put out, that shareholder letter. Actually, it was just today, wasn't it?
Yeah,
So,
I just read it.
oh, you did?
Yeah, just now. I didn't realize they PR'd today. I was like, oh.
Yeah. So as your president and CEO, I would like to provide an update on what has been happening as it relates to your company. I like how he says that, your company. Last week, I welcomed a new customer based in Louisiana who purchased 4 super sacks of SGP Plus as a trial run. I'm making Sam laugh over there. Him and I were actually going back and forth with the Jerky Boys. It was pretty funny actually the other day. You actually had me laughing pretty good, dude. It was good.
You got me good. I was I don't know. This is a complete tangent. I don't know if you guys ever watched the I'm blanking, the Howard Stern guys, Richard and Sal, the prank calls. That was like, I still think that is like the funniest humor I've ever seen in my life. It is so stupid. So when Eric told me about Jerky Boys, I'd never heard it before. So I've been,
how could
you haven't seen
how
it,
could
check
you
it
not
out.
have heard of the Jerky Boys? That's crazy.
Just look
That's
up like
insane.
Jerky Boys, auto mechanic, and car salesman. Those are like the two. They're like super short. It's like old school. It's from like the 80s, and I think it was on like a CD. But anyway, I digress.
Yeah, no, I'm laughing just thinking about it. But the guy did purchase 4 super sacks of SGP Plus as a trial run. Not 2 hours later, the rancher sent me 2 videos, which are posted on Twitter, showing the immediate acceptance of SGP Plus that was placed in the troughs. The rancher should see marked improvements in his herd after 2 weeks based on anecdotal reports from other customers. As evidenced in the videos, both the mature cattle and the young calves were thoroughly enjoying their meal, further validating our claims. Now, listen, like I said, go back to that IFAS video. There is a whole PowerPoint that they put together. And I think the professor, different professor, not Professor Shank, the professor, updated that PowerPoint, if I'm correct. So let's just take a look here. And he posted, SGP Plus is part of a ration management technology supported by a product. Our scientific team has demonstrated that the formulation and application of SGP Plus is based upon incredibly complex science. Hence, in an attempt to simplify our explanation of SGP Plus to date, data is sometimes presented in its simplest form. Our data is based on our scientific efforts, which include herd performance, manure scoring, something I never thought I'd talk about on this channel, and extensive literature search of juried research, and limited laboratory testing. IFAS is confident that the data presented regarding crude protein, total digestive nutrients, and other measurements are validated by this complex scientific effort. Most importantly, ranchers consistently report on any number of improvements of their herds and the quality of meat and milk. This gives us incredible confidence in validating our claims and supports our ongoing scientific efforts to prove concept with science-based facts. So there's that. And so I don't know, as a shareholder, yeah.
Hey, Rob.
Seriously, honestly, I'm really happy with it. I want to have Mark on the show. I like open invite. If you're watching, I'd love to have a sit down with you and learn more. And I know many of you guys would as well. So, any other thoughts on the IFAS?
Yeah, I was reading the last paragraph. I got a good chuckle out of this. Talk about like a really niche convention. It's the annual premier cattle feeders event feeding quality forum. That's a mouthful, and that is a very specific place to go. I think.
It's sort of fun. It'd be like the green short sleeve shirts mediums club.
But I mean, if you're IFAS, that seems like that's right up your alley. So I'm glad he's going.
Well, and and talking with the professor, he says like the farmers in the farming industry, these bigwigs, they are a tight knit group and they talk a lot and they know what's going on in the industry. So it's pretty remarkable. I mean, I don't know. I think this one is a total buy. It is, in my opinion, like I said, I'm not telling anybody to buy it. None of this is financial advice, by the way. None of it. So please don't take it as that. But I'm just sharing the passion and bringing the DD to you because I love having these discussions with live due diligence. Hey, so we could take that one off. Is there any stock you want to bring to the board today?
All
Sam?
right. Well, I've just because I've been video heavy on them this week, I figured we could talk a little AITX. Plus, guess who's coming on BFC in a few days? Mr. Steve Reinhardt is from AITX.
What is he? Oh,
That was totally unscripted, guys, by the way.
Yeah, Steve Reinhardt will be on live 8 p.m. this Sunday, Eastern Standard Time. So make sure you guys check it out. So go ahead, Sam.
Yeah. Well, they've it's probably no coincidence he's coming on now because they've had a lot of good PR lately, or I guess exciting things going on. They had a bit of a sales slump, probably for like they're not on a December year end, so it would have been like their Q1 from February to May and a little before then. But their sales have really picked up lately, which is nice. I don't know if it's a seasonal thing because it's like coming into summer and they want to, I don't know, that's when people want to buy these things or what. But there was that. And then they have been getting close to, I don't think it's at market yet. And I know you guys will talk about it, but they have the rad dog, which is pretty cool. I think it freaks a lot of people out. But it's pretty cool. They've been working on it for a long time. I think he, like right when I first started really covering them in like late 2021 or even before that, they had licensed or bought the IP from the company called Ghost Robotics. So it's been a long time in the making. So he'll talk about that, but that's pretty cool. They've had some PR with it. I think they're going for the law enforcement approach first, like going with like selling it to police and stuff. But no, that one's been really cool. I think they're nowhere near profitable. I say this in my in my videos and stuff. They've got a long way to go, but if they can consistently sell like they've been doing and grow on that, I think they'll be profitable probably sooner than you'd think. But again, it's all comes down to sales. So I'm paying very close attention to sales PRs and the kinds of things they're saying around that. So that's my spiel on AITX.
Paid pumper. We're kidding. All right. Yeah.
I got the most toxic convertible debt ever to say that. Of course I didn't, guys. Just kidding. Just kidding.
My gosh.
Nothing. No financial advice from me either. Never is. Yeah. I've never said a word of financial advice on YouTube.
Welcome to the financial advice station, Buffalo.
And on that note, welcome to.
Oh man, well, I'm excited about AITX. I got a chance to talk with Steve yesterday. We had a good 20-minute conversation, just shooting the breeze and just talking shop. And that's another guy, passionate about what he's doing. There's anybody that follows AITX and subscribes to his Twitter or watches his weekly updates and has seen what they have accomplished. You can't say he's not a passionate guy. The guy is completely freaking passionate about what he's doing, and he's executing. And profitability. That I think is going to come, in long term, so that's more of a, it's sort of like, and they reduced their team too. Did they not? They just,
they're cutting costs. They did the classic like tech company right now, where once rates go up, the cost of doing these things doing more speculative things goes way up. So they, like discount rates, right? So they, they cut like maybe 20% of their team, something like that. It was mostly like R&D people doing like things that were not really relevant to the business today. I think he said it was like stuff that was like years down the line. So,
and I don't know. I think a lot of these companies that I'm finding now, they're adding shares with purpose. You know what I mean? Like they're not like, there were a couple of weeks where I seen a lot of stock bot updates, in regards to share additions to AITX.
Oh yeah.
But it wasn't like they're not leveling on 500 million shares. They're not leveling. They're really like, and this is what's going on. This is one thing I'm learning, like doing all these private placements and doing these restricteds and like, trying to learn the other side of the OTC other than just retail, is that they really try to raise money for their cause. Now, whether or not they do whatever they do with their money, your money, that's another thing. You hope that they do right by you. The ones I'm involved with now, I'm hoping they do right by me and the group of my shareholder investors, we are trusting the people with our money. So yeah, there's a trust issue there, but he's one of those that you could tell that he's adding with a purpose. You see it all the time, Sam. You see it adding a billion shares, boom, billion, 2 billion. It's like,
yeah, it's yeah. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. Like, he's diluted. They've had to, right? I mean, you have to pay for this somehow, right? So it's really, do you think that this dilution's worth it to pay for growing the company, like investing in it, like investing in itself, right? Like paying people mostly in their case, right, to develop things and whatever. So if you think that their tech is stupid and like it's not worth it, then like this is not the company for you, right? But if you kind of like believe in the IP, the vision, and the team, like that's if it's worth it, that it'll be worth it to you, right? That's kind of what dilution comes down to, because their dilution isn't, well, at least right now, it isn't very, I would say toxic is the word people use, right? Like a huge discount to market, which it generally isn't the way they raise, which is good. But I personally think that they invested well back into the company for the most part. Plus Steve is like, he's not like a lot of OTC CEOs. I mean, like, not gonna lie, a lot of OTC CEOs are, I don't think they do a whole lot. Like the run of the mill, like if you took your average OTC CEO, I don't think they do much at all, to be honest. Like they probably don't, I don't think they really work that hard or try very hard or do anything groundbreaking or anything. I think Steve is like, he works really hard. Like he's working all the time.
He's next tier.
Like he's doing like videos on weekends, like with Eric, and because that's live, right? You're going live.
Oh yeah, we're doing live.
Yeah, so like, how many?
He loves it. Yeah.
Like he's like responded to DMs from me at like the middle of the night, and like he's like, oh, I read this thing last night, like 2 a.m. or whatever. It's like, man, yeah, he works really hard and he's really passionate, and he's very, I don't want this to come off badly, but he's very like type A. Like he's very like, I don't know if particular is the right word, but like he seems like he pays attention to a lot of things, and he wants everything to be really good, and like I think he's maybe like always trying to improve and things like that. So just from that pure perspective, I know financially it's a lot more tricky with them, but just from everything else, it's nice. So I like that.
Yeah, I got a good vibe talking with him, and it clicks because like I said, I think like he communicates. He's accomplishing a lot. I mean, the Stars on Mars thing is pretty damn cool thing. That's too. No, I'm not gonna lie, it was pretty cool to see somebody on the red carpet like 3 weeks after they were on my show. Like,
oh yeah,
wow, it's not a scam. No.
Yeah, the products are real. There was actually so they like a lot of companies got a lot of popularity after the big like early 2021. I'll call it a pump across the entire OTC, right? That was a real thing.
100%.
And they got really popular out of that. I think they raised a lot of money out of it too, which is good. Not as much as they could have, but there was a period there. So they had a lot of cash to work with, and they kind of upgraded, like they moved their facility out to Detroit. They were in like a small place in California, and they moved out to Detroit, and that's where their office is now. And they're doing all this stuff, and there was like this weird conspiracy for a long time, like I know it's StockTwits, but like it was mostly on StockTwits, that like their facility like didn't exist, and like the products were all fake, and then like no one could ever find them. And like, it's very weird, like the kind of stuff people come up with. Like, say what you want about the company and like how they're not profitable and they might never be and whatever, but like, it's a real company. Like that was what always got me. I was like, of all the things you could come after them for, like that's what you're going to choose. It's very weird.
Yeah, and I'll tell you right now, I think that what's nice about the pullback, what's nice about the way the market sentiment is now, and that the OTC is sort of cooled, is that we get to sort of find the companies that are thriving and still communicating and exceeding expectations while funding is drying up, and while especially with Ukraine and the things that are happening in Europe, and I could use Eyeless as this example. You know what? They have to pivot when they can, but they're getting things done. QINDs, they're getting things done. Like the numbers are unbelievable. But I know you're gonna correct me, but like they're not that unbelievable. But I mean, like they're
no.
I think they're doing a lot right. I think a lot of these companies are doing a lot right for the times that they're in. And so And there is a sacrifice that has to be made. And like you said, is the long term, is it worth it long term? And obviously for Sam, the answer is yes. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
that's my thought. So hey, did you hear about the trucking yellow?
Yes. So
Dude,
I
what is
followed
up
this.
with this?
Anybody in the chat a truck driver or like work in logistics? Because I'd like to get some commentary here, and you can correct me anywhere if I'm wrong. So from what I understand about trucking, I do follow the industry a bit just because there's a couple companies I watch penny stock wise that are in trucking. From what I understand, Yellow was mismanaged for a long time. They got bailed out in 2020 by the government. They got a loan, and as part of the loan, they had to give up 30% equity in their company.
Insane.
So you as John Q taxpayer are actually going to be going through this liquidation process. But trucking as a company is like when you're like asset bearing, like you own the trucks, you're not just like a freight forwarder. It's a doggy dog business. Like you're making thin margins. You're getting hit in every direction. There's like a worker shortage, wages going up, gas prices are increasing and fluctuating. Like maintenance on trucks, all this stuff is just getting harder and harder. And then they're dealing with a union at the same, like the Teamsters union at the same time. So yeah, it's you have like a bad 18 months and you're done, especially when you're when you're capitalized like they are. They had debt, too much debt. And they basically just said like they had debt coming soon, due pretty soon. And they were like, well, like we have this, we're going to get hit again by this strike. And we're not going to be able to pay this debt that's coming due in like 12, 18 months. I can't remember the exact date, but they had a lot of debt coming due. And they were just like, all right, we're done. It was like almost like a voluntary like shutdown, and they just closed up shop. It wasn't like anything.
Almost like they avoided. They wanted to avoid the strike, knowing what was imminent.
Yeah, and like the crazy thing about this world is with like manufacturing and things where you have partnerships. They probably had big deals with companies where they were like using them all the time. And if they ever catch wind that you're almost on the way out, they're gone. Like they're cutting bait. Like they'll either try to save you or they're gonna let you die. And most of the time they let you die.
I know Wayward, one of my subscribers, Brad, he is a trucker. He's at it every single day. He has a private business. But yeah. Any thoughts, Wayward, if you want to put him in the comments section, your thoughts with this going forward. Yeah, but this was the press release I saw. And as you can see here, a 70-year-old granny made a bra for elderly wrong part there. All right. I love the ads. They're just so
we need to get you an ad blocker, man. I say that every time I see your videos. Petition to get Eric an ad blocker.
I know. I need to, it's time. But hey, you know what? Hey, maybe they'll compensate me one day. So yeah, like you were just saying, after years of financial struggles, reports of Yellow preparing for bankruptcy emerged last week as the Nashville, Tennessee-based trucker saw customers leave in large numbers. Yellow shut down operations on Sunday, according to the Wall Street Journal, following layoffs of hundreds of non-union employees Friday. In an announcement early Monday, Teamsters said that the union received legal notice confirming Yellow was ceasing operations and filing for bankruptcy. And it does go on to talk about what you mentioned, that basically they got that pandemic era $700 million. And it just blows my mind that a company could get that much and blow it. But there were worker shortages, and there still are worker shortages in certain industries. And, we're talking about 30,000 jobs at risk. It's just insane that this amount of money goes in to like save a company, and they're not, like what you said, 30% equity. That's crazy, so I don't know.
Oh, Wayward's here. Just one driver, non-union.
Yeah. Oh, so Barry the Great. Yes, there he is. Just one driver, non-union. Yes. He does concrete. He delivers concrete. Wayward's a solid guy. Sorry.
Concrete delivery or like hauling concrete?
Like hauling concrete, where they like load it into the big loaders. It's pretty wild. It's pretty wild stuff.
That's pretty cool. I mean, okay, so the one thing I will say, and I did read about this, so I'm like quoting other people here, but like two things. First off, 30,000 jobs being lost, not good. But I will say, of all the jobs where you're going to lose your job, logistics is probably a pretty good one to be looking for work right now, because there's like literally there's like a huge shortage of people. I know it's like not nice to lose your job and stuff, but I feel like if you're working in logistics right now, you're probably pretty that people are fighting for you left and right in general, from what I understand. But someone can correct me if I'm wrong. So there's that, and then I think I think I read a Wall Street Journal article about it, and they said that it's not really going to affect other businesses too much or industries. Like a lot of people are going to pick up the slack. I mean,
they talk about how they were undercharging too.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
they were the cheapest one. So
yeah, I mean I don't know. They basically said that if they said something like 80% of all their customers just left like a week ago or something, they just like stopped doing business with them. So clearly they went somewhere else, and like we haven't seen some big catastrophe. So I don't know. Again, I'm not the huge expert here, but that's my take on it.
I'm not a fan of the economy as a whole, to be honest.
Build back better plan. Build back better plan.
I don't know how that got on there. I'm so sorry. But
turns out when you print like $8 trillion and like
it might not work out
in like a year, you might have inflation.
Like every administration for the last like 24 years, it's just like, I think after 9/11 happened, it was an excuse just to like spend every single taxpayer dollar possible, because when have we ever been in a surplus? Never.
Yeah, right.
So
I think it was was it the Clinton administration last time we had
it was 99, and there was even like people were arguing about it then too, because it had something to do with like taking from Social Security to balance the budget.
He reformed it, didn't he? Wasn't that him? Did he or was that Medicaid? I know he did Medicaid.
All I know is that we spend too much money in this freaking country.
Yeah, well, it's like I read these headlines and like this is going to be the most politician middle line answer ever, but like they what happens every time with the deficit is Joe Biden will go on TV and be like, we need to have more taxes and come after the rich, and then the Republicans will say we need to cut spending, and then neither of them happen.
No. Yeah, it's always dude. It's so funny because like no matter who's in power, the same exact thing always happens. Like we need to cut the budget. It's like, get out of here.
like guys,
it's all baloney. Because like even like I was just talking about the Affordable Health Care Act, and it's just sort of funny. Like it was supposed to be Affordable Health Care Act, make health insurance. My insurance for the family tripled, and I'm not even exaggerating that. Half of my paycheck went to health insurance, which I think is absolutely ludicrous. And you know what? What I found really crazy is that John the Brain McCain, when we had a chance to like repeal that. Did I say that? I did say that. But the guy was smart at one point. But he had the chance to be that deciding vote to like cancel it, and he didn't do it out of spite. And it's like, oh my gosh, what are you doing, man? I go, there was a chance. But yeah, that's another thing. Like we're in debt. We have an awful healthcare system, the high deductible plans that everybody's getting. It's just crazy, but not to go on the political tangent. I'm not picking sides here. I really am not. But anybody could see, like, in general, it's not, we're not in the best of places, but
well, like when you have like low interest, like government borrowing costs for like since basically like 2011 or something, like it's pretty easy to raise debt. It actually like kind of fiscally makes sense a little bit to have like run a deficit when rates are that low, but like at some point you have to you can't roll over debt forever, and like you have to stop it at some point. And usually you do that when the economy is doing well. So like between like 2014 and like 2020, probably shouldn't have been running at a deficit. Like that was Democrat and Republican presidents.
Yeah. It's been like a high school girl with daddy's wallet.
Yeah, it's yeah.
By the way, a mall is a place where there's lots of stores for people that don't know what malls are anymore.
You youngsters,
those empty lots, those empty buildings that are spread.
Bunch of weeds in the parking lot.
Those used to be malls. Michael Singleton, here it is. Politicians are like CEOs in the OTC. That's right. Everybody's going to the NASDAQ. That's right. Woo-hoo, it's a party.
What was it? Dude, how is your healthcare so expensive? Aren't you in a teachers union? I don't know if this is like TMI or what.
No, not at all. My healthcare that I get from my current employer is absolutely awesome. And even if it wasn't, I'd just cover my ass and say that. No, but in all seriousness,
if you're listening, district, whatever,
it's a top tier plan. If all my plans work out to like make money and go out of teaching, the biggest downfall, and I love teaching, but the biggest downfall is losing that health coverage. And it's a big perk, especially when you're negotiating a job. So in New York, it's great. We have a good pension system up here. I do think they could cut spending a little bit, and we're overtaxed, and we have a lot of stupidity going on up here. Don't get me wrong. But yeah, that's good. I taught privately for 6 years, and really what it came down to is those companies. And this is the thing, like when you have these big contracts going out and people are getting good healthcare and they're not paying a lot into it, it gets offset to somebody else that's working a job that has to pay out of pocket. So their rates go up. And that was me as a private teacher. What was happening is, I had a certain rate. The minute that bill passed, not the minute, but like soon thereafter, my insurance tripled, and my employer would only contribute $1,000 to my insurance. And that, not to say like that's bad. That's really across the board. They don't really employers don't contribute a ton to insurance, and when they do, they're usually high deductible plans. So yeah, it's crazy. Like it was, and I made diddly squat. Literally, it was
as a private teacher,
as a private
school
teacher. Oh, it was awful. Yeah,
yeah.
The kids were awesome, and the school was great. But like, I mean, the facility was not top notch. I have a top notch facility now. I'm not going to say where, but great administration, like good people, that want to see students thrive and stuff. But at the same token, when you have people paying for their kids to go there and you can't pay the teachers, and you have a broken bathroom where like 3 out of the 4 toilets aren't fixed because you're hiring Johnny the repairman, and instead of like, you could just see these private schools aren't kept up, especially in the Catholic school system. Like they take your money all the time, but they don't really reinvest it into the
oh really?
I
I will be the first one to say that I am a Catholic school, high school, whatever, graduate, whatever.
So you only had one toilet to use then?
No, like, my school was really nice. It's very I don't want to say what it is, but it was a very, very nice school in the Midwest in a big city. And yeah, I think they had more money than they knew what to do with, but they were you're right. They are kind of stingy about it. Like they like to keep things old, like old desks and like, but nothing was ever like that bad. But it was just like they would like put a wing or put on a new wing or like build a new gym before they like, bought some desks that weren't from like 1950 or something. So
yeah. And I get it, but I mean, up here in New York, there was a time Catholic schools were just shutting down because the enrollment was so low.
Oh,
and,
yeah.
And so when enrollment goes down, they have to charge more. It's just crazy.
Private colleges too. They're closing like crazy because they're not enough kids anymore.
Oh man, it's crazy. So I want to just talk about a couple other things because I know like people are filtering out now because we've been at this for an hour and we're just having some fun tonight, and it's good to talk about like normal topics.
Some stocks.
So I want to share this one with you guys. Now I did reach out to management. Shocker, right? VAPR and security details here. They're sitting at 2 cents. Market cap 7 million, $500 million authorized shares, outstanding share count 352 million, and a float of 46 million. That has not been updated in quite some time. So I talked to the CEO, and we're looking to get an interview in the next couple of weeks. It's going to be a pre-record. We have busy schedules, and so I'm going to try and get him on just so I could. So if you are interested in VAPR and you have questions, throw me questions at buffalofiresidechats@gmail.com or at Buffalo Fireside on Twitter. I don't know if you followed this one at all, Sam, but this is one that was actually brought by Barry the Great, and I had a chance to talk to Barry the other day too. It was great talking with you, brother. Those EV cars are gorgeous, and I'll tell you that like their cars look sharp as hell. They are beautiful looking vehicles. I can't wait to have to have him on the show and talk shop. I think it's going to be amazing. So VAPR definitely.
This.
Wait, Jord. Is he here? Jord. He texts me. He's really frustrated. He had some choice words about his phone, his internet connection.
Some get you demonetized words.
Well, we could look at his face a little bit. He was supposed to do the drink of the week, actually. He was.
Oh.
Yes. And it was some real fancy beer, too.
Oh, the aged one, right? Is that what you're telling me about? Yeah. I won't steal his thunder. I won't say it.
Wait, are you there? Jord? At least we get to look at you. We get to look at Nick Link and Jord. So there you go. Yeah, so I guess not. But you know what? I will do. Yes. I cracked this big ditch. I waited for this. I had a backup. Yeah, cheers, man. So VAPR. So you've taken a look at their vehicles. What do you think overall? Would you drive one of them?
Who, me? Oh, I haven't looked at this company too much, to be honest. I feel kind of bad because I think the last time we talked about this company, we were giving them some stick about a certain PR they put out.
Was it them or was it RITE? I think. Well, I know I picked an RITE. That was,
think it
dude.
was-
That one's funny. That makes me laugh.
It was the one about their share price doing better than all the other car companies or something like that. I think that was the one we it was all in good fun. VAPR, you should come on Eric's show for sure.
No, absolutely. I'm looking forward to talking with them and hearing what they have to say. Let's take a look at just a recent PR, just to give some. Here we go. eSight. All right, and they are doing fundraising, so it's pretty cool how they're doing this. So the offering, all right, let me just give you this. In just 2 weeks, eSight exceeds target offering amount. Public can still invest directly at current valuation. So that's pretty cool. The offering, which went live on June 22nd, 2023, is for common membership units in eSight Motors LLC, complete with voting rights and a price at $2.50 per unit. Any member of the public can now invest in as little as $100 directly from the portal. They have a portal up here that you could click on and invest. Any member of the public can now invest with as little as $100, as I just said. So I did talk to Barry. He did state in this PR, we want to thank our long-term investors as well as those who have recently joined. The support we have received from the public further validates the demand and desire for truly unique EV vehicles while ratifying our valuation. The offering will remain open for a period under the current terms to allow others to participate prior to closing. eSight recently announced that it had received a pre-money valuation of $75 million for the purpose of raising money for the manufacture of its production vehicles. The valuation was ratified in filings with the Securities and Exchange Commission's, the SEC, Form C. This valuation was reached following eSight becoming the first vehicle manufacturer under the Low Volume Manufacturers Act to receive approval from the California Air Resources Board to proceed with the certification process that will allow it to manufacture and sell new EV vehicles in all 50 states, as this was the first time in history that a manufacturer had reached the point of applying for certification from CARB under the Act, and there was no process in place to do so. eSight has worked closely with CARB while they define the process, paving the way for future vehicles to go through the certification process. So, and I did talk to them about this, and so they're the first ones to go through this. So there are all these unknowns while they're getting certified, and so it's sort of like a waiting game. We're going to see how it plays out. I hope to see them succeed, and I hope to see them get this certification. But it's pretty damn telling that they're going to be available to sell in all 50 states, and they're the first to do so. Being first is great. And so hopefully those beautiful cars are efficient. And there was one, I think the cheapest one was like 80,000, 78,000, something like that. I might be wrong. That's going to be my eyeless money. I'm going to buy a VAPR car, eSight. And they are working on a name change. They are going to be doing a name change. So.
I cannot afford their car. I'm a Toyota Corolla guy. That's my car.
You're that guy, huh?
Oh yeah.
Toyota's a great vehicle. It is. I'd love to get a Tundra. I always had trucks. So I'm driving a Jeep now, but it's like, you know what? I want a
Jeep.
Tundra.
What are you made of money with all that maintenance? Is it in the shop right now? What do you
dude. I just spent $2,000 on it. And I just spent $1,500 like a month ago. It literally clicked over to 100,000. I am not making this up. I'm driving on my way to work. I'm driving to work, and it clicked. Boom, 100,000. I'm like, you got to be shitting me right now. So what happens? I had to pull over. Where you're not supposed to do the U-turn, but you do anyways. And I called my boss. I'm like, yeah, my car broke down. I'm not gonna be in today. And it was just a frustrating experience. But yeah, easy $3,500 over the last month. Yeah.
Need some reliability in your life. Actually, we want to buy a Tundra as our next car. That's like going to be whenever we can get these better financing rates. Hopefully, if rates go down, maybe we'll get one. We'll see.
Like even doing the real estate gig, I'm like, I can't believe the rates for mortgages is just insane.
Oh, yeah, what are we at today?
Are you looking it up? 6.75, 6.5, 7?
Higher than that, 7 something right now, probably 713.
Man, we got to rate it like 3 and change.
Nice.
But So yeah. Oh, by the way, guys, I did want to tell you, GRPS, Trans-American Aqua, they're going to be doing an update next Wednesday. Adam Thomas is going to be joining me live. So I'm pretty excited about that. I know he did have something to share in regards to Farm the Door. So I don't know if they're doing something more. I know that they're approaching their first harvest in the next couple months. So we are, very, very excited about that. Just can't wait to hear about their first harvest. What other one did I want to talk about briefly? CGRA, I'm waiting on news for that. This tweet, and man, that price is just like bottomed out. I think it's a complete buy, but this is their latest tweet. Here's their latest tweet. Savage update. We are in final contract negotiations with a major UK online supplier. We will bring forth details once finalized. This is in addition to positive ongoing discussions with major UK retail suppliers previously mentioned. And, I'm just going to remind you guys, with the acquisitions, it just takes time. It takes time, takes energy. It takes a lot of negotiating. And I think, it's just patience. So, the other one I wanted to cover was 3DX. But I'm not going to go. Yeah, I'm not going to get too crazy about Triple DX. But this is exciting. This is an exciting one, and what they're doing, they're going to Rob, we want to pull up those tweets. Here, check this out. So they're going to basically break their own record. This 3D motorcycle, and if you get a chance, you could actually. They posted it on Twitter, an actual video of this thing. It's like. This thing is like, it's massive. What was it, like 13 feet long? It's stupid. It's crazy.
It's like they race in the desert, right? Like they go really fast.
Yeah, it's
one of those.
It's in Utah. They're headed to Utah, and so they're going to try and break their ground record. I think it was 200 miles per hour. I might be wrong, but they are going to be putting up live video of this. So this is something you want to keep an eye on. I think another sleeping giant. I'm telling you right now, like a lot of these stocks, a lot of these companies are going to freaking thrive. And I think 3DX is going to be one of them. Straight up. No doubt in my mind. Anything could happen, though. This is not financial advice. IMO, in my opinion.
Anything can happen.
But look, the share structure is beautiful. I'm in restricted here. I love it. I like Nick's enthusiasm. I think that if they expand on these contracts, if they expand with that certification, that JCP certification, I think this is a sleeping giant, and these guys could be NASDAQ bound eventually. That's my personal opinion. I really believe that, especially with the share structure that they got.
Yeah, the structure is nice. I mean, a CEO who will cancel his own shares to raise capital is pretty nice.
Roger Jansen.
Shout out Roger Jansen. I mean, you find me 5 other CEOs on the OTC who would do that. You'd have to claw or pry some of their shares from their dead hands, I think, in most cases. Yeah. So
Nick Link canceled shares. He canceled his own shares.
Oh, did he?
Yes.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I know that he is reorganizing his share. He reorganized his shares. I like how they use the term reorganize. We're reorganizing the shares. But yeah, Triple DX, man, I'm telling you, it's a breath of fresh air. I am freaking stoked and can't wait to see where we are in a year. I am completely excited and happy. Hear the screaming? Yes. See, you jinxed me. They're not watching the sunset a couple times in a row.
There they are.
So check this one out. All right. This is a great PR. Let's see. I can't get the bottom of this. Oh, there we go. All right. Thanks, Rob. Rob is helping me out today. He is. One of these days, you're going to see the man behind the curtain. I'll tell you. All right. So, yes, 3DX Industries is pursuing partnerships with prominent tech giants, including Apple, Amazon, Alphabet, Google, Meta, Facebook, and Microsoft, NVIDIA, and Tesla. Through our advanced additive manufacturing expertise, we aim to collaborate with these industry leaders in elevating their technology offerings. With recent news indicating Apple's interest in 3D printed parts for their forthcoming Apple Watch Ultra 2, we are excited about pursuing a potential collaboration with Apple to create groundbreaking innovations. This opportunity further emphasizes 3DX's industry's commitment to driving technology advancements and delivering cutting-edge solutions for our esteemed partners. Apple, that is great. Man, if they get a contract with them, Holy crapoly. It'll be amazing. As we continue our pursuit of strategic partnerships, we are poised to contribute significantly to shaping the future of technology manufacturing, providing unparalleled quality and precision engineered components that meet the evolving demands of the industry. Here's a quote from Roger Jansen. We take pride in the work we do at 3DX, and crafting parts for large industry titans is a testament to the work we are doing. We always ensure the highest quality of standards and efficiency for our clients. We continue to seek out active partnerships in each space as we hold the knowledge and the proof of work to back it up. We are excited to see what develops over the coming months, and so are we. So are we. So excited.
Very cool.
So.
Yeah. I mean, my big thing with Triple DX is always like you hear nice PR, but you haven't really seen it flow through to like revenue or financials yet. So that's what I'm really watching for with them, because it sounds like they're making all the right decisions. It just needs to convert to financial performance, which maybe it'll come. Yeah. I think they're doing the right things. So.
Oh, totally. Absolutely. Let's take a look at the chat real quick. Tesla is my next car. When I started farming the mortgage rates. Whew. Well, you know what? Rates, like going back 80 years, rates were very high. Capital gains tax was outrageous too.
Cost of borrowing were insane. I think my parents told me in like the 80s they got a mortgage, and they were like, they got a 15-year because they were like, oh my God, they're down to like 9% right now.
Yeah, that's insane. You know, and it's just, but when you're used to 3, when you're used to 4, and you're up to 7-8%, that's a significant increase on your wallet. Wait, Rob Stolarczyk. Since
time.
We don't have one yet, I'll do a beer recommendations. Dragon's Milk, so good. Is it a stout? It sounds like it'd be a stout.
I looked it up after he posted it. It is.
A Beta Beer Summertime Shanty. Lisa Matthews. I'm gonna add these to the list. My gosh. You're looking it up. I hear. Wait, hang on one second. Do you have one of those like 1990s keyboards?
I have a mechanical keyboard. For you guys that don't know, who aren't in my Discord and you can see it, I play a lot of video games, so I have a mechanical.
What's your game of choice? Is it called 10K? Is it a game where you break down filings and hopes and dreams of shareholders?
Yeah, 10K. Yeah. SEC Edgar. OTCmarkets.com.
You're just blowing up filing. It's like, oh my gosh, action packed.
No, I haven't. Actually, only one person has ever called me out on it, because I used to play a lot of RuneScape, like old school RuneScape, and like at one point someone was like, "Really, are you playing like RuneScape right now?" Like on my like Sandmaker Discord or whatever. I was like, "Oh man, it's embarrassing."
Oh my gosh. So did you look up a beta?
Oh yeah, I think
beta
watermelon lemon shandy. I think you meant shandy, not shanty, right? Is that or my?
It's shandy.
Shanty.
You have a shandy and go down to the shanty. I mean,
God damn you people, go back to your shanties.
And Lisa works out in the heat all day long. Kudos to you, Lisa. Like, cheers. Like, and this room temperature beer is for you. But seriously, like it's been hot across the US, and so yeah, she works outside all day long. So if that sounds what you just described after working all day outside, that sounds like it would be quite refreshing. But
it looks good. I've got the website open right now. A little fruity beer action. Looks pretty good.
Yeah, that's right. Thank you, Rob. Thank you, Lisa. Guys, this has been great. And yeah, George stiffed me. He's down at the local bar right now. No, I'm just kidding. No, he feels bad. George is a go-to guy. Like he is like, if he says he'll be there at 5, he'll be there at 5 to 5. If he has your back, he's a good friend. And I can't wait to have wings with the son of a gun. It's going to be great. It's going to be awesome.
George, you in the chat? Anything you want to talk about? Anything we missed? I don't even know if you're even here. But
no, George gave up. He's like, he's really pissed off about his phone. But
oh no,
I want to say thank you to everybody watching this right now. I mean, to see the channel grow the way it has, and to honestly to have 26 people live, at this time at night on a Wednesday, this has been so cool. And Sam, you're always welcome on. I mean, like, it's just cool to get CEOs on, get our investments revved up and ready to go, because you know what, when the economy rebounds, I think we're making a lot of wise decisions now. And you know, for those of you that are in my private investment group and we find these gems that we want to like invest in privately, you know, I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for all of us, because you know, this is why we got in this in the first place, you know. So I really appreciate you guys. John Don asked for the share structure for Iveda. Are you able to
clean?
pull up? Yeah. It's perfect, and you could see it soon. Uh, do you want to pull it up?
Yeah, I can pull it up. Give me one sec.
On a school like Eagles. Nah, I really appreciate you guys. Seriously, I mean, the group is growing. I'm glad you could indulge in some of the humor, especially the humor that Sam and I like, because you got to be able to laugh. If you can't laugh, you're not enjoying life. You just got to laugh. Especially when things are bad. When things are red, you just laugh it off. Even if you're grinding your teeth and you're like, "That's great," you know. But sometimes, yeah, you just gotta roll with the punches. That's it.
Sorry, I'm just trying to find. I mean, it's all common. Like, I don't think there's anything convertible or anything like that, from what I understand. The CEO owns 4.4% of the company.
Yeah,
about right. A lot of directors.
I wish I could have asked RMRK Jordan. I wish I would have asked him that his ownership in the company, and I should have looked.
I looked beforehand. I was a little confused. It said he didn't own any shares, not preferred, not common. I was a little confused by that. You can have a look. Maybe I'm wrong, but it was just said none or something.
Yeah, IVDA sitting at $1.01, market cap of 17 million, and they have 16 million outstanding shares. They're solid. This is just a good company, good leadership. You know, I'm gonna look. RMRK. I'm just gonna do a little digging, just right here.
Yeah. I swear I saw that.
Let's do it to be continued. I'm gonna do it to be continued on that.
TBC. Yeah, he'll come back on.
Yeah.
You can talk about it with
absolutely.
him.
And I don't think he's doing all this work to not be a part of it. You know what I mean? Like,
something's. I'm not totally sure what's going on there.
But right on. Rob Stolarczyk again. What better way to spend a Wednesday evening than at the Buffalo Fireside? And anytime, you know what? That's what we're here about, doing a little live DD. But it's time. It's been an hour and a half. I said I was like, oh, let's do a quick hour show today. You have an interview, do some chatting. But no, dude, Sam, thank you for coming on the show again, dude. I gotta jump on your live one of these days.
Oh, I haven't quite figured out how to have two people live at the same time.
you've been killing it over there, man. Kudos to you, and you're expanding, you're growing, and I could tell people that if you really like due diligence, if you really like knowing about the filings, you need to subscribe to his channel. Give him a stock that you're in, and if you're into it, if you're thinking about getting into it, he will break it apart. You know, and yes, you know, we're just two dudes. We're not always right. You know, we do the best we can. We share information. That's what it's all about. You know. So any final thoughts, Sam?
No. Thanks for the shout out. Yeah, check out my channel if you like longer form DD. I mean, I don't always say nice things about every company, so I don't know if that's something everyone wants to hear, but the YouTube is work in progress. I'm trying to get better at it. I don't have the production value like E-Rock over here. So I don't have the thumbnail game quite down. Like,
get out of here. Well, hey, you know what, dude, come on, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, I'll get there. He's got it down. But no, thanks for having me on. Always love coming on. Chat's the best. You guys always ask good questions. And I'll just always close with there's always a deal to be found on the OTC. 99% of it's garbage. You just got to find the 1%. So
that's
there
right.
You go.
And you know what? Get out of here, jerky. Get out of here, rubberneck.
Should I bring my fucking tools?
I'll fire it down on your head, right on the windshield of that car.
Had a little problem with my boss.
I got all my shoes and glasses with me, so I have them.
Check out the Jerky Boys. That's what
you
we're
guys got
inside joking here.
Jerky Boys 1 through 4. They're absolutely solid prank videos from the 90s. Seriously.
Amazing.
Oh my gosh. All right, brother. We'll take care.
Yep. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Peace. Oh, well, that was fun. That was a good time. Yeah. He always makes me laugh. The old Sam Aker. Get over to his channel and honestly subscribe to it. Subscribe to Sam Aker Finance. All right, guys, that's all I got. For those of you that tuned in and for those of you that were in it for the long haul for this hour and 30 minutes, thank you very much. I appreciate you. And I can't wait to do this again. Join me live Sunday at 8 with Steve Reinhardt's AITX CEO. It's going to be awesome. That's all I got. And remember, there's more that binds us than breaks us. Have an awesome night. Peace out.